Hi guys, my name is Ndogozo Nomasigo Msomi Nomasigo Noma, and I've been creating reaction video. Please, let's not laugh at my clip for my mic. I'm using a peg because my clip broke. Here's the clip. My clip broke off, so I'm using a peg. It works just as well. Thank you. At least it matches my top. At least it matches my top. Okay, so I've been seeing a lot of videos of people who've moved to South Africa and their culture shock between their home countries and South Africa. And today I'm reacting to Amy. Amy is a Japanese American who recently moved to the Eastern Cape. By recently, I mean recent years. I think this year, 2023, she moved to South Africa. And let's see Amy's culture shocks. Right.
The video, so I'm feeling a little bit nervous and a bit camera shy, but anyways, my name is Annie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm from Tokyo, Japan, but I'm half American, half Japanese. That's where is South Africa, and I'm like, it's would take a while to guess. But anyways, I moved here to a city called Port Elizabeth, or PE, or Eveja, that's the official name. I moved to PE at the end of January of last year, and I've been living here for about 7 months so far. And as you can imagine, South Africa is quite different from Tokyo, Japan, where I come from. And so I thought it'd be fun if I make a little video about all the culture shocks and funny things that I find about South Africa. So when I came to South Africa, I wasn't one of those people who were expecting that lions and elephants and zebras are walking around the streets, but I also wasn't expecting that cows would be on the streets. This is like just in the middle. It's not a field. We didn't even think about it anymore. It's not a field. It's just like the road, and there's cows. That's kind of beautiful. And one more thing that
This is similar to this girl, my previous video, who made a comment about cows, about South Africans having cows, and she stays in Sodwana, so northern KZN. The cow story. We love meat. We keep cows. We slaughter cows. We eat the meat.
That I discovered recently is that there's always peacocks in hospitals for whatever reason.
Not just hospitals.
Oh my word, there's so many more things on a guard. Not the tourists. And the next culture shock is how much South.
Not just peacocks, or not just hospitals. You'll find peacocks in different places, in residential areas. You'll find peacocks anywhere they're allowed to be, or anywhere someone is keeping a few peacocks. So yeah, there are a few peacocks, and they're so beautiful. I have a neighbor who has a peacock, and just, oh, so beautiful. Makes noise, but it's beautiful.
South Africans love their meat. So biltong is really famous. It is really nice, to be fair. And South Africans love their braais. So braai is basically like a South African version of a barbecue, but definitely don't call it a barbecue in front of them because they're not going to be happy about that. It is a brooi. And also, if you're vegan or vegetarian and want to move to South Africa, girl, you're going to have a rough time.
Actually, I was vegetarian for 10 years, and out of those 10 years, I was vegan for 2. And it's doable. It's very doable, especially because a lot of cultural food is vegetarian based, and then the meat will be the side. So you'd have like putu and bean stew, or lentil stew, or potato stew, and meat on the side. Or sometimes they'll cook the beans, the sugar beans, with the meat inside. But usually meat is it's added on the side. There has to be meat on the plate for a plate to be complete. South Africans do love their food, like their meat. And if you've been to South Africa and you were never invited to a braai, then you are not a nice person. You're not a nice person if you've never been invited to a braai and you're in South Africa. Yeah, but you can be a vegetarian. I know a lot of vegans. I know, I was vegetarian for religious purposes, and a lot of my friends, vegetarians and vegans, and we never had issues. There are a lot of meat alternatives. soy burgers, sausages, and things like that. So it's doable.
In South Africa, but that's how much they love their meat. But also, I think maybe in Cape Town and stuff, they're a bit more probably like vegan friendly or whatever. But if you go to any other place, it will be tough to survive as a vegan, just saying. And the next one is, okay, South Africa isn't necessarily the safest place on earth. In fact, some may say that it is quite dangerous. And one of the things that was sort of a culture shock to me was the presence of car guards. So anywhere like in front of a shopping center or like anywhere that you would park your car, there's usually people called car guards around there. They have these like security vest things on, and they're just kind of like around the parking lot and making sure that people won't break into your car. And when you're about to leave, they're always like next to your car and like kind of ushering you out. And you always kind of have to tip them like 5 to 10 rand at the end. And I don't know, South Africans, that's probably super normal, but I've just never seen that kind of thing before. So that was quite interesting.
Interesting fact about that is that the car guard might not even do anything. They might not even watch over your car. They'll help you park. They'll help you find a parking spot, and they'll give you the illusion that they're around watching your car. And as soon as you enter the mall, they're off to the next person who needs assistance and needs parking. And most of the time, you come back to your car, they're nowhere to be found, and you drive off. And other malls, they have ones that are designated per parking bay. So when you come out, they'll see you, they'll come help you with your trolley and offload your goods to your car, and then take the trolley back to the shop. And then of course you tip them. And sometimes if you can't tip them, you tell them, hey, get better, I don't have a monies today. You just tell them, go to get better today, but next time I'll see you. And they don't fight you. It's not like it's compulsory to pay them, unless you go to a paid parking area like an underground parking, where you pay for your parking. Then that's safe. There are no car guards there.
And speaking of tips, in South Africa, you do tip sometimes. When it's like a restaurant sit-down situation where you have like a waiter serving you, then you usually tip at the end. The standard is about 10%. That's from all people who are thinking of coming to South Africa. Okay, buying data for your phone in this country is so complicated. Like, it's literally more complicated than Japan, which says a lot because Japan is really complicated. First of all, you have to buy a thing called airtime, which you would go to like a store, like a supermarket or whatever, and to the cashier you would say, may I please have 100 rands worth of Vodacom airtime or something like that. And they give you a receipt which has a long PIN code on it, and then you have to enter that into your...
No, I'm mad at Emmy's friends. I don't know why they made her do it the long way, because you literally just go on your banking app and load data or load airtime, and it's not that complicated. Less than 2 minutes you have data, you have airtime. And I don't know when was the last time I got to a till and I bought airtime or data. I don't know. We just use cell phone banking. I'm mad at her friends for not tipping her and giving her proper advice, because why? Why? That's technology. Why would you go the long route of punching star 120 star 557789777766111855555 hash? No, there's no need.
Your phone and then get your airtime, and with that airtime you buy data, then you can use the internet with it. And even like buying data, it's like not straightforward. There's like different options, different packages, different sales going on and that sort of thing. That's data. It literally took me like a few weeks to grasp the concept of buying data in South Africa. Ooh, okay, wait, this is a funny one. So again, South Africa, not the safest place. There are unfortunately a lot of mugging incidents and stuff, but what I thought was so funny was that there's like a mugger's walk. Like, there's a stereotypical way a mugger would walk in South Africa, which I didn't know that was a concept that would ever exist. And unless you're South African, I'm pretty sure you have no idea what I'm talking about, so I will show you guys right now. Listen, this is a social experiment. If a mugger's trying to mug you, what is the walk that he's doing? There we go. Can you show me how a mugger would walk? Yeah, that.
But I'm too white to do it.
I want to put it in my YouTube video. I'm gonna ask him much. The accuracy.
It's mad because it's true. It's true. These are the people that acted the mugging walk, the muggers walk. It's true. Like the moment you see someone walking like this coming towards you, you grab your things, you make sure they're closed so that your bag doesn't get snatched as you walk. But to tell you the truth, I've only experienced a mugging. I've never been mugged, let me not lie. Oh my God. Please. I've never ever been mugged. I've never been mugged, but I've had things stolen. So you'll forget something and then someone will conveniently forget to return it. Or you leave your phone somewhere, you come back, it's no longer there. But I've never been mugged. But I've seen the walk, and if you're smart enough, you know to turn, walk the other way, and find another route where you don't see a person walking like this.
And okay, this is something really, really random now, but people banter a lot in this country. Like, people's love languages are bantering and making jokes. Like, literally, the ability of these people to be able to laugh about their problems is, like, inspirational. Like, South African memes, guys, slap. And even to prove my point, I literally just sent this reel to my sister a little bit ago. And it's this South African guy saying, like, yo, guys, as us South Africans, we gotta date other South Africans.
Like, I can't wake up every single day of my life and be like, babe, it was a joke.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I was only joking. No.
I can't make a...
Having to interpret our humor is... It's daunting. It's not nice. It's not nice. And I don't know. Blame it on apartheid. We've been laughing at ourselves for far too long. Rather laugh than cry, right? It's our coping mechanism. We make jokes. I make jokes about being an orphan a lot, and my friend Mommy, loves it so much that at first I remember she felt so bad, and she realized, and she said, "Oh, I'm laughing." She's like, "Yeah, it's because you don't have parents." You know, it's South African banter. Yo, guys, I can't explain it. Hectic. Okay. I can't explain it. You need to experience it, but it borders on going overboard, but you know when to turn. You know when to veer back. Yeah, it's just, you have to live it to experience it. You have to experience it to understand it. That's the best way I can explain it.
Culture shock South African video without talking about this, but obviously load shedding. Basically, in South Africa, we don't have enough electricity. And so pretty much every single day, we have power cuts for a few hours per day. There's literally an app that is solely dedicated to let you know the load shedding schedule of the day, of the week. And although people always complain about it all the time, like, to be honest, you get used to it, like, very quickly. Like, by...
It's mad how we get used to it, to such an extent that if we have a whole week of uninterrupted power, we start wondering, why is there so much electricity all of a sudden? Where did they get this electricity? Oh. We just had the Rugby World Cup. There was no load shedding, so that everyone watches the Springboks demolish England, demolish the All Blacks. We had to watch that, and the government made sure that everyone had electricity for us to all be a part of the celebrations, because there are people who cannot afford backup power. Other people have solar, other people have inverters that you charge, UPSs for your Wi-Fi, and other people can't afford that. And for people who can't afford that, it's unfair that when there's a power outage or load shedding, so the load is too high, the grid trips. So when they do load shedding, there are people who still don't get access to television and Wi-Fi and internet and things like that. So it was fair.
After a few days, I was completely used to it. And it's just like, that's how you just live your day. So we have this thing in South Africa where we turn the lights off and then everyone like goes and like finds a hiding spot. And we basically play hide and seek in the dark. I need a good hiding spot. Next, I want to talk about the slangs and accents of South Africa. That was quite a culture shock to me. Lekker is the most famous one. It means like nice. It comes from Afrikaans. But there's so many other like words or slangs that I didn't know what it meant when I first was here for the first few weeks. So, for example, oaks means guys, or people would just say O's or oaks. Robots are traffic lights. Hectic, like literally people use hectic so hectically, it's kind of hectic. You see what I did there? It just means like something crazy or like something like intense or something like that. Also, shot means thank you. Haibo means like no way, and it comes from like Zulu or Xhosa or something. Xhosa. I'll stop. We're gonna get to that in the next point. Okay, the click language. And also an infamous one is how they use the word now. Now is a very loose term in South Africa. They would say now, they would say now, they would say just now. And if somebody says they're gonna do something now, that means like now. That means like later. And if they say they're gonna do something just now, like it might be tomorrow, it might be in 6 months, it might be never, you never know. And people would say like, I'll see you now, or like, I'll call you now. But that doesn't mean now, it means like in a little bit. Like maybe in the next half an hour. Like, I'll see you soon, I'll call you in a bit. That's what they're...
Yeah, because like, I'll talk to you now. Like now. Like, yeah, now. I usually say, I'm boarding a plane, going to Johannesburg, going to East London, going to Cape Town. And whomever I'm meeting that side, let's say I'm going to Cape Town, I'm meeting Noni, my friend. And then when I'm boarding, I'm like, okay, I'm boarding, I'll see you now. And the flight from Durban to Cape Town is 2 hours, or 1 hour 50 minutes. And 1 hour 40 minutes if you are flying Fly Safari, the taxi of the sky. But that now doesn't necessarily mean she literally has to go to the arrivals door at the airport and she'll see me. She knows that I'm boarding. I'll see you now means I'll see you in about 2 hours to 3 hours. Does it really have to be now? It has to be my now. Now means when I'm done with whatever I'm doing, that will be the now, okay? And then I'll call you. So if now is tomorrow, if I finish what I'm doing tomorrow, I'll call you now. Now.
Saying. It's so confusing, but I do love South Africa, guys. Ooh, and the accents as well. The accents are pretty fun. I still to this day cannot imitate a South African accent. And I think partially it's because there are so many South African accents, guys. Like, it depends completely on your race, where you're from, and it sounds completely different. Like an English white South African accent, it sounds completely different if you're in Cape Town to if you're in PE. Like a PE accent is something like instead of saying like, they would say laugh. And they would say ja instead of yeah, they would say ja. And Afrikaans people have a super distinct accent. Sometimes like if you're like super Afrikaans, like you can hear the accent from a mile away. And colored people have their own accent. Like a Cape colored has a super distinct accent and they sound completely different from like a colored from Joburg or Durban or something like that. So it's really interesting. There's different accents and I love accents.
Okay, what informs our accents is the number of languages we have. So officially, on record, the number of languages we have 11 official languages. And sign language, I'll put it there as a 12th one, even though it's not an official language as yet. But so 12 official languages, right? And each person, so under those 12 official languages, there are sub-languages minus sign language because there's no accent there. How can you accent sign? I don't know how you would accent it, but yeah. I don't know. But under these languages, there are sub-languages as well, which are, dialects. So under Zulu, there's different type of Zulu spoken all over KZN, right? So the English the person speaks, the accent follows their dialect. And Xhosa, there's Mpondo, so there are different dialects. And then with Venda, Slobedu, Pedi, and all other languages, so the dialect controls, or how you learn the language is controlled by your dialect and your mother tongue or your home language. Your accent is also informed by your home language. So there are things that, and your schooling also, of course, your schooling, how they emphasized articulation, enunciation, pronunciation. Other schools don't, and people just grow enunciating and pronouncing words the way they see them. And it's perfectly fine. We understand each other. No one says, no, that's not how you say that, as long as it's correct. I made an example yesterday to a friend of mine about how, say, instead of saying determine, a lot of South Africans will say determine, because there's mine and deter, right? So determine. And it's fine, it's acceptable. No one is going to say, it's not determine, it's determine. I understood what you were saying, and it's cool. Let's move.
And languages, so that's really fun. And this is the last one, but there are so many languages in South Africa, guys. There are 11 official languages, 12 if you include sign language, and people are always like bilingual, trilingual. I know a guy who speaks 7 languages, guys. How crazy is that? I'm just thinking, but I genuinely actually don't know all the 11 official languages. Like, I can't name them all. Like, I know, okay, there's English, Xhosa, Zulu, Afrikaans, Tswana, Sotho, Pedi. Like, that's all I can name. There's a few others, and I shall look them up and put them on the screen right here, because I must learn as well. But generally, a lot of people speak English, especially if you're in a big city, then most people will speak English. I find that also, like, a lot of people do understand Afrikaans, and I really want to learn Afrikaans just to be able to understand what people are saying. To be honest, I'm not that interested actually in Afrikaans. I really want to learn Xhosa. I think it's like the second biggest language in South Africa after Zulu, and in my region in Port Elizabeth, that's the biggest language. But yo guys, I'm so keen to learn Xhosa someday. Like, even the clicks, yo guys, it took me 4 months to be able to do the clicks. Like, even still, like, I'm not that great at it, but like, it took me 4 months to be able to do the different clicks. But guys, don't you think it would be so funny if like my language palette was Japanese, English, Spanish, a little bit of French, and Xhosa? Like, that would be so cool. One day, guys, one day. And speaking of languages, guys, this is the perfect time for me to talk about Lingota.
And on that note, I'm a language practitioner by profession, so I love it, love it when people talk about learning languages and wanting to expand their vocabulary and knowledge and understanding of other languages. Love it. Love it so much, Emmy. I really hope you are doing well. I really hope you're doing well in that embarkment. Okay? That journey that you've taken. I love it so much. Shout if you need help. I speak 9 languages, so please. What's this? Please.
Is great, but also learning grammar structures. And what's great about Lingota is that because it's
okay, I'm gonna skip this because Lingota didn't pay me. They paid her.
What you fit in. And I would genuinely recommend this if, well, first of all, you thrive in like a classroom, craving for something to stretch you, to push you to the next campaign, which will give you 25% off your first 2 for free. Just click the link in the description to find out more and use my code ME25 to receive a 25% discount on your first 2 months. Here, but also I do want to stress, guys, although I'm kind of painting South Africa in a funny way with load shedding and like the muggers and all that kind of stuff, I love South Africa. Like, literally, it is my favorite country that I've ever been to, and I want to stay here forever.
We love you too, Emmy. And that was it. That's it. That's with that. That was it for the Amy Hectic 99. We used to have a TV show called Hectic 99. I found it funny that she used Hectic as one of her examples with our slang. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. That was lovely. That was beautiful. Thank you, Amy. I'm looking forward to watching more videos from her. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. Bye. Bye.